Hello there, how are you doing today? My name is Onome Odokuma, Extraordinary Woman of Impact. Thank God it's Friday. Yep. So we come here every Friday, at least once in a week, to give you to talk about some things that matters, especially when it comes to being an extraordinary woman. Today, we are going to talk about family support systems. Yeah, we all come from a family, don't we? So it's important that we talk about the system called family. You see, in life we don't do life alone, because like I said, we come from a family. We were birthed into a family. So it's important we know our families. For instance, knowing your family tree, knowing your father, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, Remember in social studies then in primary school, we used to draw family tree. So what is your family tree? Do you get it? It's important to know it. Why? To avoid issues tomorrow. We've heard of young people who dated, and then when they were to get married, they now found that they were actually related, even if it was not a close relationship, but they were related. Now, what is a family? When we ask our little children in nursery, primary school, they will tell you that a family is a group of persons that are related by blood. And that just sums it up. That's what a family is. Now, a family is also an organization. Okay, it's a group of persons. Yes, they are related, but it's an organized system. That is a family. And then a family is an interconnected, it has to do with an interconnected relationship. We have father, we have mother, we have grandparents, great-grandparents, we have uncles, aunts. Do you know that even adults can't really place their cousins? You have cousins, you have first cousin, you have second cousin, third cousin, fourth cousins, just like that. But so many people have found that when you ask what's the relationship, they can't really explain. They say, okay, he is my uncle's nephew's child. Okay, who is your uncle's nephew's child? Maybe that will be for another discussion for some other day. Go and ask your child that is in primary school to tell you about that. Anyway, so I've just defined a family, and I've told you that a family is an organization. Okay, it's an organized group of persons. It's not just, we don't just exist just like that. When we say organized, you have a name, a family name. Okay, and then apart from that, you need to treat your family as a business if you want your family to grow. Now, when we say treat your family as a business, you want your family to not just remain just within your small nuclear family. You want to move forward. You want to ensure that your family name is etched in the sands of time. Okay, so that's why you treat your family as a business, to ensure that the family name, when growing up, our parents will say, when you're going maybe to the university or even to boarding school, they will say, remember the family you come from. Okay, so that you don't soil the family name. So that's what say that it's quite sacred. Ensure your family, you treat it as a business. You want it to be productive. You want your family to be productive, not just die away like that. Okay, because if you look at the Bible, we have families that their names just died like that. Where is the family of Eli? It just ended with Eli and his children. That was it. Do you know Eli's children? So we don't want our families to just die, and that is not the purpose that God has made for family. That's not just it at all. God wants our families to grow, to be productive. Okay, and let me tell you, because of God's plan for the family, that's why the devil the devil fights families as much as he can. That's why we have a lot of broken homes that affect the family structure. So when you have a family, you guard it as much as possible. Okay, so that's why we're talking about family support systems or system. Now, a family should be there to support one another. You don't exist alone. You support one another, be there for each other. How then can we support one another? The first point I have here is be available. As a person, make yourself available. Now, if you are available, you can be available to be helped. How do you make yourself available? Let people know you in your family. Like I will always say, you don't do life alone. Like, what are you afraid of? Okay, the witches are, what they call it, household people, or what is it called, village people will come and bring you out and destroy your life. No, now. Ensure that you are available. How do you make yourself available? Attend family meetings. You can even start from your small family here. Have family meetings. Interact with your children. Your children have a voice. Let them hear you speak. Let them air their views on certain things. So another thing is ask after one another. Don't say one of my uncles was wicked to me, this and that and all of that, and so because of that you want to live alone with your nuclear family. Would your nuclear family grow? They will grow someday. And even if it's even your nuclear family, you ask after one another from time to time. Maybe you have children in the university or wherever in the world, you find out from them, you call them, ask what are they doing and what's going on in their lives. Make yourself available to be helped. We just can't help people when we don't know them. What is your status in your family? What are you known for? What relevance do you have in your family? Okay. Recently, some children in my family, not necessarily my children, I'm talking of my wider family, they came together to form their own group and decided that they will be contributing some certain monies for just in the purse, because someone could just need it. These are young ones, the Gen Zs and the Alphas and all of that. Why were they able to do this? Because their parents inculcated this in them so that they can be able to be there for one another tomorrow. They are building their family support system already. Okay, then let us try as much as possible to be givers and not takers alone. Okay, we should be there for one another. You give to people in your family who need these services you have to render, or even advice. You don't see someone in your family going astray and you keep your mouth shut. Remember, the Bible says that person's sin, if the person dies, his sin will be placed on your own head. His own hot coal will be placed on your own head. So why keep quiet and seeing the person is going astray? It's totally wrong. That's why it says support system. Don't see someone going into the pit and you keep your mouth shut because of one family issue or the other. Yes, we all have family issues, but we should try as much as possible. Now, while you are being a giver, you should be able to set boundaries. Let your family members know your boundaries, please, so that you will not die from hypertension because one family member is calling you from here, another one is expecting your attention here and there. Set boundaries. Know when to say no. Okay? Know when to say no. Don't be the only tree standing in the family. That's why we should be there for one another, assist one another, but set your boundaries, because you are human. You are not omnipotent. It's God that is omnipotent. Another thing I will say here is try not to be a pushover or a footmat while you make yourself available. That's why it's important that you set boundaries. And then encourage one another in whatever thing that you find yourself doing, like maybe in your career or your business. Ask one another, how are you doing, how is your business going, and all of that. In a family support system, you cannot be alone, the only man standing. You never can tell when something can just come and hit you. Who are those there to support you? Let's take, for instance, the story about Naomi and Ruth and Orpah in the Bible. You see, Elimelech left his hometown for another place because there was drought, right? There was drought there was famine, so he felt that the other side was greener than where he was coming from, and so he moved to another place that they call Moab. This is found in the book of Ruth. You can read the entire book of Ruth. It's just a few chapters there, you know. And so when he moved there with his family, his wife, first of all, they had children, 2 sons. Okay, his family, his sons, 2 sons, and then his wife. And then they made a living there. His sons now married the inhabitants of the place where he was staying. And then a few years after, Elimelech, the father of the home, died. His sons later on died, and then left Naomi, who was the wife of Elimelech, their mother, all alone. But you know what? She had 2 daughters-in-law, that is Ruth and Orpah. And these women gave Naomi the support that she needed at that time. Yes, they were also mourning, but they all supported one another. I believe that the family was a good family. Naomi must have embraced them, so they knew the importance of family, and so they supported one another. If you read the book of Ruth, you will see the whole story as it evolves and all of that. It's important that we support one another. If you want to do exploits in life, be there for one another. Be there for your family. Treat your family as a business, like I said. You don't live in isolation. We all come from a family. So I'll stop here today until we see again next week, Friday. Remember, today we talked about, there's a lot talking about the family support system. Okay? We have a lot. We may continue again next week when we say. Again, today, my name is Onome Odokuma, Extraordinary Woman of Impact. See you next week. God bless you.